Think about it for a second. Your business is so much more than just one photo. So why on earth is your online presence just one picture? It's a pretty powerful question, right? It immediately stops you in your tracks. Well, this exact hook was used in a really groundbreaking B2B campaign. The goal was to solve a massive, real-world problem. How do you take a hyper-local, completely offline heritage industry and actually transform it into a structured, highly trusted digital ecosystem? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the source material to decode the Chiniot promotional intelligence system. We're going to look at how a rigorous, evidence-backed governance framework is literally organizing the scattered, historic Chiniot furniture industry in Pakistan into a verified, trusted national network. It's a fascinating setup, so let's jump right in. Here is our roadmap for today. First, the scattered furniture heritage. Second, the three-layer digital ecosystem. Third, strict master authority governance. Fourth, demand-first creative strategies. Fifth, the B2B acquisition pitch. And sixth, scaling truth and trust. All right, starting off with Section 1, the scattered furniture heritage. We're looking at the offline reality versus the digital chaos. To really understand the challenge here, you have to look at the sheer scale of this local ecosystem. We're talking about an estimated 3,000 to 4,000 small manufacturing units, workshops, and highly skilled craftsmen. Now, offline, it's a massive, thriving hub. But online, historically, it's been complete chaos. There was no single structured digital authority. It was basically just a scattered mess of unverified images floating around on mobile phones, with absolutely no way for a remote buyer to navigate or, more importantly, trust what they were looking at. Moving to Section 2, the three-layer digital ecosystem. This is all about separating makers, media, and commerce. So how do you digitize a rich heritage like this without completely erasing the identities of the individual craftsmen? Well, they engineered a highly specific digital architecture by separating the layers. First, you have the actual makers on the ground. Then you introduce Chiniot.Online, which acts strictly as the media, knowledge, and discovery layer. And finally, you have Opnicity.pk, which takes over for the national commerce and planning journey. This brilliant separation means the platform functions as a trusted authority network rather than pretending to be some giant monolithic factory that makes every single piece of furniture itself. And this ecosystem just seamlessly guides the customer journey. It doesn't start with a sales pitch. It starts with a simple dream or a problem, like maybe you're furnishing a new home or planning a wedding. From there, it moves into education and inspiration before gracefully introducing the Chiniot discovery phase. Then, it presents verified suitable options. And only after all of that does it ask for a formal inquiry. The customer is never just hit with a dry, overwhelming catalog. They are logically guided every step of the way. Section 3. Strict Master Authority Governance. Let's look at the actual rules of the Chiniot network. Organizing thousands of independent workshops means you need absolute, uncompromising rules. And this system is governed by a 13-file master authority. Just look at this comparison here. We all know generic marketing, right? It relies on fake claims, unsupported superlatives like we're the absolute best in the world, fake urgency, and those classic cheapest price guarantees. The Chiniot standard literally bans all of that. They demand verified visual assets, 100% truthful pricing, documentary proof, and checks on a workshop's current capabilities. If you can't verify it, you can't publish it, period. And to enforce this, every single factual claim is locked into this rigid evidence classification system. Class A means it's current, fully verified data. Class B is verified historical data. Class C is field or family reported, so it's oral tradition, but it lacks hard documentation. And Class D is simply verification pending. The beauty of this is that truth always wins out over artificially inflating growth. If the network doesn't have rock-solid proof for a claim, the system defaults to verification pending instead of just making a guess. Which brings us to Section 4, Demand-First Creative Strategies. This is about building real desire before showing the catalog. With all that strict governance in place, how do you actually attract customers without sounding like a boring spreadsheet? Well, their creative engine uses a very deliberate sequence. You never just show the furniture right out of the gate. First, you tap into a real customer moment. You build emotional tension, say, the anxiety of finding the perfect, long-lasting bed for a wedding. Then you show the desired future state. Only then do you finally reveal the furniture, back it up with hard visual proof, and present a clear action. It connects human life events to the reality of Chiniot.Furniture before ever asking someone to open their wallet. Section 5, the B2B acquisition pitch. How exactly are they onboarding the craftsman? This is where we get into a really fascinating case study, a high-priority 70-second B2B campaign designed specifically to acquire these local workshops. It was delivered entirely in simple, natural, local Pakistani Punjabi, so it would truly resonate. The core message hits them right where they are. Don't just stop at one furniture photo. Bring your verified collection online and organize it category-wise, whether that's beds, sofas, dining sets, chairs, or tables. Only show what you actually offer, but show it properly. It challenges them to transform their scattered mobile phone galleries into real, structured digital catalogs. To make this happen, the onboarding video explicitly lays out a super clear checklist. They don't need a huge production budget. They just need to provide clear furniture photos, the product category, the actual rate, exact size, material details, their shop name, location, and contact info. By putting this checklist right in front of them, the jump from being an unverified, offline shop to having a verified, structured digital profile suddenly feels incredibly straightforward. Now, this right here is the emotional core of the pitch. It's a mandatory trust statement. Collection is yours, business is yours, name is yours, rate is yours, decision is yours. Psychologically, this is massive. It proves to the craftsman that joining the network isn't about giving up their independence to some big corporation. The platform is there to empower them, to put their name front and center, not erase their identity. To really drive this home, the production visually contrasts the two realities. On one hand, you have the mobile gallery, scattered, unverified images that are a nightmare for a buyer to navigate, severely limiting their local reach. On the other hand, you have the digital catalog, a fast, cinematic reveal that transitions smoothly from beds to sofas to dining. It's category-wise, totally searchable, and built on verified trust. It visually proves to the business owner exactly what they stand to gain. And the call to action? It is deliberately low friction. They completely avoid making fake, hypey promises like, join now, it's free forever. Instead, they just say, look, you don't need to prepare your whole collection in one day. Just start with a few clear photos and rates today and send them directly to Chiniot.Online via WhatsApp. It's safe, it's easy, and it gets the ball rolling instantly. Finally, Section 6, Scaling Truth and Trust. Let's talk about the Red Team quality control process. Before any of these promotional videos or partner catalogs actually go live on the platform, they have to survive a rigorous, adversarial Red Team QC process. The ultimate test boils down to one simple, brutal question. Does this visual actually prove the claim? If your marketing promises a hand-carved piece, you better have visual documentary proof of that carving happening. You cannot fake it with generated imagery. In fact, the system has critical auto blocks hardwired into it. If any content relies on fake testimonials, fake partnerships, generated images presented as real inventory, false pricing, or fake scarcity, like pretending a product is almost sold out when it isn't, the system automatically blocks it from ever being published. It is an uncompromising filter. This entire philosophy is beautifully summed up right here. Truth plus desire plus visual proof plus novelty, plus customer value, plus safe action. This is the ultimate formula of the project. It proves that sticking rigidly to visual truth and cutting out the generic marketing nonsense isn't just a nice, ethical thing to do, it is actually the most powerful long-term conversion strategy you can have. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If an entire scattered offline heritage industry like Chiniot.Furniture can be completely transformed and digitized through this uncompromising truth-first ecosystem model, what other scattered offline industries around the world are just sitting there, waiting to be unlocked by this exact same framework? Something to think about.